What's going on, YouTube world? We are back again for another retirement topic, and today is the big B word, budget. Let's check it out. So we're looking at the retirement budget today and trying to break down how exactly do you figure out what it's going to be for the year that you are going to be able to live off of, to be able to enjoy your retirement and to cover all the necessary expenses along the way. So I'm going to break things down into two different components today. First, we're just going to kind of brainstorm what are the expenses that are actually going to come up throughout the year, and then kind of backtrack so that we can identify what those expenses are, the needs, the wants, etc. And how we can put that into a simple software to be able to track our budget for the year so that we know where every dollar is going and that we have peace of mind knowing that money is accounted for and we plan to spend the money that we're going to spend for the upcoming year. And so that we know where the money is going to be going once we plan for everything that we want to do and have a fun retirement along the way. So here we go, without further ado, busting out the marker one more time. And we're going to start by just making a little bit of a visual aid. Annual retirement budget. Excuse my penmanship. So, when we say annual, obviously that means the budget for the year. Now, life's going to happen throughout the year, and how are we going to be able to budget for it to make sure that we have everything covered before the year begins so that we have peace of mind throughout the entire year and know that it's okay to spend money and it's okay to pay your bills and it's okay to go out and have fun because you've planned it on paper on purpose, obviously ahead of time. So we're going to separate this off into three categories today. First one, the importance, obviously our needs. Next one, the also important but should come after our needs, and that's going to be our wants. And the third category, surprise, surprise, we're going to budget for some peace of mind. Yeah, we are going to be able to put a little cushion in that budget to make sure that we have everything accounted for and we know that everything is going to be able to be covered throughout the year that we have budgeted for. So, identifying the needs. Now, you probably know these already. There are some things in life that we need in order to survive, and those include food. We need shelter. We probably need some clothes. Now, I'm not talking fanciness, but obviously, clothes are essential. And we need transportation in order to get around wherever we want to go. Food, shelter, clothes, transportation, and last but not least, we have things that we got to pay like utilities, like home taxes, property taxes, whatever taxes are coming up. We're going to have to put those under the needs as well because that's what we need to do. Our wants, on the other hand, those are a little bit more fun to talk about and a little bit more to brainstorm, to enjoy thinking about what the year could possibly be. So for me personally, I'm looking at travel. I'm looking at entertainment, which obviously could include traveling, but how are we going to budget that? We'll talk about that in just a bit. I'm looking at projects that I have that I want to complete, things that I want to do, things that I want to learn. Might take some money in order to be able to do that. And the last thing I'm thinking about for wants is I am thinking about spontaneous activities. I'm actually going to be putting money into my budget for things that I don't even know I'm going to do, but I'm looking to have an enjoyable retirement filled with unstructured activities along with the structured activities that I plan. So going to budget in a little bit of money for spontaneous activities that I don't even know about at the beginning of the year, but I will have peace of mind when they come up and I decide, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to go do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to buy that. Never did this before, but the money's there, so why not? And for peace of mind, obviously, things happen. Life happens. So I'm going to have a bit of a fund set aside for emergencies. Now that should be 3 to 6 months of expenses, but obviously within the year, things come up, doctors come up, potential accidents come up, and what I like to call those the unexpecteds. You can expect to have unexpecteds come up throughout the year, so we want to make sure that we have a little bit of a cushion to make sure that those things are covered if and when they do happen. And in other words, you want to put it, we can use an acronym, my OMGs. Peace of mind is going to require covering emergencies, unexpecteds, and OMGs because things will happen throughout the year that you don't anticipate, and it's okay to put some money aside in order to be able to do that. So that is how I originally set off coming about how am I going to think about all the things that are going to cost me money throughout the year. Now I'm going to take this information and I'm going to actually apply it into a simple software program that I'll bring you guys with along the way to be able to figure out how I broke down my budget and obviously how you could break down yours as well. So let's shift over to the computer, take this information, plug it in, show you guys what we can do. All right, so I'm about to show you guys the retirement budget that we use to manage our retirement budget, and hopefully if you guys are interested, you guys can use too. It's absolutely free. I've provided a link to a template of it here in the description, so feel free to click on the link in the description to be able to access this for yourself, make a copy of it, and the retirement budget's all yours. But I want to show you guys what this budget looks like. 3, 2, 1, check it out. Now, don't be intimidated, all right? There's a lot of numbers, a lot of words, a lot of information on this actual budget, but I'm gonna spend a few minutes just breaking down how simple this actually is and where this information can obviously be handy for you guys when you guys are creating your budget for the year of your retirement. Or if you're not retired, you're welcome to use this for any annual expenses that you have as well, and it should work out just fine. The biggest thing I want you guys to notice is the end goal, right? We kind of worked backwards with our budget. We said how much do we think we could spend at the beginning of the year. For us, for example, based on our living expenses and where we live and how much we anticipate traveling, we came up with a total of trying to spend only $40,000 for the year. Yours might be more, yours might be less, depending upon your situation, but I wanted to give you guys just that first set of information that says, yes, we worked backwards. We started with an end goal in mind and we worked to break down everything so that it was a possibility and that we would only spend that much by the end of the year. And of course, we had to make some adjustments along the way. So if I look at the top right part of this fancy screen, you're gonna see year total to date. That is $40,000. That is the goal that we are looking to spend, at least for us personally. Again, when you change numbers on this form, it's going to obviously adjust that for you automatically. You don't have to worry about doing much math along the way, which is very entertaining, especially if you're not super thrilled about doing a bunch of math. So how does this total get calculated? Well, if we look at the year-end totals just down beneath it and we scroll down, all of these year-end totals will calculate themselves and pre-populate automatically once you enter information. So that was our overall goal, to spend $40,000, and we worked backwards in order to do that. And I'm gonna show you guys how we started. We started with the first month. If I go over and I look just at January, and we'll zoom in even further. Cool. Now, I broke down the needs versus the wants versus the unexpecteds, and even our annual expenses were broken up by month so that when those annual expenses came up, like car insurance, like medical insurance, depending upon how you pay yours, like subscription services, sometimes you get a benefit or a bonus if you get a discount if you pay every 6 months or every year. So looking at expenses, we started off with what's happening inside the house. Obviously, I put our utilities in place, and a lot of these utilities, I actually put a little cushion in, kind of build my own little utility fund along the way in the event that we didn't spend that actual money on those utilities each month. That money carries over to the following month. Now, these categories, you are welcome to edit them. For example, we had a house gutter and tank project. If you guys watch our regular channel, we put up rain gutter tanks. And so you guys are welcome to modify and adjust any of these just by double clicking on it and changing it to whatever it is you'd like it to be. I also have a couple of other categories here in the event that you have other things that you want to add. So once you put these totals in, it's going to automatically total it at the top. So for example, if I change the electricity to 0, obviously you can see the adjustment goes there, and the adjustment actually goes all the way across to where your year-to-date total and your year-end totals is adjusted. So just by making that one change, you can see the year total to date automatically will go down by that $80. So have some fun with it, play with it, and it's I don't want to nerd out a little bit, but it's almost a fun little game to figure out, how can I get this thing to balance? How can I get this thing to work? Again, all of the home activities and ideas have been put obviously in the home category. That includes any sort of maintenance and improvements that we might have, and projects. Notice the project in the January didn't occur throughout the rest of the months. That's because obviously it was a one-time thing, and we allocated that maybe in January we're going to get it done. Next category, transportation. Depending upon what you need, listed a bunch of different types of transportation options for you as far as things that come up. If you have a car payment, it's there. If you use public transportation, feel free to use that. Obviously, gas is in there. I've kind of bundled mine together with auto insurance and fuel. If you want to separate them out, like for example, my auto insurance is very inexpensive. I could have put 100 there, 50 there, but for simplicity's sake, I just put it all in one category. You're welcome to obviously change it to make and suit to your needs as well. Especially repairs and maintenance, vehicles break down over the course of the year. You do need to do maintenance, so it might be in your best interest to put some money in those categories if you're interested in making sure that obviously your vehicle has repairs and can be taken care of without any challenges along the way. Now, the daily living, this is things that you do obviously on a daily basis. This includes your needs as far as groceries go and any sort of clothing shopping that you wanted to do. If you have haircut bills, you have pet supplies, other categories, put that into your daily living. Now, entertainment, you can put what things you'd like to do for entertainment. For us, we have a couple of subscription services that we put in there. And other than that, I actually put some of the family activities underneath the vacation and holiday section, so I didn't put them in there. Underneath health, put aside some money for any potential doctor visits, dentist visits, prescription medication. I know my wife does take some medication, so we set aside money every month for that. Any gym subscriptions if you might have them, and even family activities. If you want to put it in that category, you're welcome to do that. Maybe you're investing in several bikes for the family that you want to go off and do those things. The family activity section obviously can be put in there, or you can put it down below underneath the vacation holiday section, which is obviously my favorite. For the vacation holiday, how you choose to break it up is obviously completely up to you. I try to keep it as simple as possible. We had a visa application for my wife that we did back in January. Now for here, we do a monthly fun money category. So basically, every month we set aside this dollar amount in order to do things that are a bit spontaneous, that aren't pre-scheduled. We try to make sure that we have money, so when something spontaneous comes up, we want to go do it, we put that money in there, and so long as there's money in that envelope for the month, we go ahead and enjoy it and don't have to worry about whether or not we can afford it. As far as trips goes, now our original goal was to take a trip in April, was to take a trip in July, to take a trip in November, and then we had some special holiday plans scheduled with family. So that is where a good portion of our money had gone and is going to this year as well. And I don't want to say the fun part about it, but we actually never took our trip in July. And so we have a trip coming up literally tomorrow that I'm excited about, that we're using the July vacation money from because it never got used. And therefore we have those funds, so we are going to make sure that we spend them before the end of the year. One thing that we struggle with sometimes is being such, I don't want to call us penny pinchers, but being frugal throughout our savings over the last several years. Now telling ourselves that it's okay to spend money. We need to spend the money, and we need to be purposeful and make sure that that money gets spent before the end of the year. It's almost like a reverse challenge that we have for most people, because my goal is to make sure we have $0 left at the end of the year. This budget form helps us track that information along the way. And again, as the year goes on, once you decide how much you're going to be spending in each, you can play with these all you like. You can tinker with them. You can make them to suit your needs, and you can adjust them. That's what the nice thing about having this type of form is, everything is adjustable. And should you have something taken a little bit more money than you had anticipated, you can take it out in future months. Or if you didn't spend the money in the past month, you can obviously put it in the future month to be able to enjoy it because you never spent it the previous month. So that's the annual budget form. I've got a link in the description for you guys if you're interested in using it and want to tinker with it. All you got to do is click on it, make a copy, and it is all yours to be able to use. You'll notice that the quarter one, quarter two, quarter three totals, they automatically populate. You don't have to put those in. You could delete those cells if you want to, but everything is meant to try and just give you an idea of how much money you need or how much money you have for each of those particular quarters. And so by the end of the year, all of the totals are up over here. So that's the annual budget form. It's provided for you guys absolutely free. It's in the description section for you. Have fun with it, tinker it to your liking as much as you would like. But the goal, again, being that you have the confidence in knowing that you have the money for the year set aside and you know exactly where that money is going every single month along the way. So thanks guys for checking this out. Appreciate you. We will see you guys in the next one. Enjoy your retirement. Real quick guys, if you didn't get a chance to check out my wife and I's budget meeting we had earlier this year for 2024, feel free to click on the video right up there. It'll give you guys a breakdown of how we survive the budget and how we are enjoying our year of 2024 with peace of mind knowing that every dollar has a name and every dollar is spent on paper on purpose before the month begins. Check it out.